So we'll do the minutes from the previous meeting if somebody wants to make a motion.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes for Wednesday, April 29th as written.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Isn't today April 29th?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Oh, did I say April?
Yes, you
29th?
did.
15th.
15th, that's right, I misread that, I'm sorry.
As
Yeah.
corrected.
That's how good
right?
she is. She knows what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna approve them ahead of
You typed
time.
it right on the email.
And I read it without even
Yeah.
thinking.
So with the correction.
Yeah.
Second.
So I have a motion that was seconded to approve the minutes of Wednesday,
April 15th.
April 15th. This minutes as amended.
As amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Don't think about it.
So was mine. Heather, you had a change to the,
I note here for the police, 758, 158.
that's the total?
Mm.
Is that with the
The step
the step increase that? So what's the new bottom line?
758, 158.
That's my book.
How many people got step increases?
Yeah.
You want me to write on your budget then?
And that's still with the extra officer in there? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
758.
So steps for everybody in that line?
No. That's not done. This is the second page. Just one person, I think.
So you know what? This is what I have them up here. I didn't put
The
them
old
up
one's
there.
back there.
Yeah, that's the old one. Yeah, I didn't put the new one in here yet. Can do it. Okay, you got 758?
Seven five eight one five eight.
Nope.
I hate this new mouse.
Too touchy.
All right, 758.
158.
158. Oops. All right, so. So let's do this way, because we were talking about it. So nothing else has changed from that. You guys have any other numbers?
Snow and ice. Went up a little bit.
I'll leave water sewer as is right now,
Yep.
because they pay for themselves, and then we'll just figure it out. We'll change it. You can talk to them and say, you've been doing the calculations.
Yep.
We don't need
That's
that.
fine.
One, 4, 6, 8, 2, 7. All right, so So this, make sure we played with this last week, so make sure we have this correct here. All right, so we're pretty confident this isn't going to change, right? Even though the way this winter's going. All right, so that's pretty well settled. Veterans. All right, so give me 1 second, just so we're on the same page. All right. Highway, sewer, treasurer, tree warden. I just want to make sure we have, and then this number was that. All right, so as of tonight well, here's the only thing. So I did talk to Maureen Marshall and Cheryl Duval for a while this afternoon, and they don't have a better number yet. So their number is, ready?
No, that's not it. I don't have it.
I have it. I scribbled it down as I was.
But this is the pie in the sky number?
This was the number I wrote down as I was passing out. But they don't know I guess they don't know what numbers to use yet from the state, is where they're at. The governor's budget was one, the House is still debating theirs today, and I haven't heard if it's changed at all, but their numbers were a little different in the House budget. So what they said today was they have to, by law, have the letter out tomorrow.
Right.
So the number they're going to send out is an 11% increase. It's the high number that they always start with, just because they don't know what to use yet for revenue
So
projection.
this is the pie in the sky?
Yes, yeah. So, and I'm just, yeah, you ready for it?
Ready.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone's sitting down? 5, 1, 7, 6, 1, 3,
What
6.
was the last? 5176.
Yeah, 5176, 136. So that will put us here, short about 575,000. That's with, the extra highway, extra police, the changes to the assessor's office, things like that. This is everybody's requested budgets, puts us there.
It is not 11% quite a bit above the, I thought it's usually at like 6% when she comes in high.
This is a lot higher than
It's much higher than normal.
I think we've ever seen percentage-wise.
Correct.
Yeah.
500,000.
So,
So what's like a 3%?
well, what I was gonna say was if we, oops,
He had put in 2.5%.
yeah, I have to redo this, 'cause I was kind of, as I was on the phone with her, playing around with some nuts, I gotta redo this formula. 4. God, I'm feeling old as I sit here and look at this stupid thing.
Good. But I don't feel so
Where
bad.
you roll.
I always like to be Brian now. All right.
It gets worse, Dave. It gets worse.
There you go. Of course, I'm messing up the formula too. I gotta do the, where is it? Equals. Oh, hang on. Of course, I didn't remember my math. There we go. So this right here would be a 3.5% increase. And
So what's the number for 3.5?
3.5% would be
Because I can't read it.
4.7, how's that? Would be 4,798,690.
690.
And if we did a 4%, which rumor is other towns are going at,
One
This-
town.
this would be, it'd be 4821.
What's the bottom number?
So, but this is a little different here, so the,
Eight.
Nope, hang on.
4,821.
I have to take that out. Where's my veterans? 78. 603. So I'm gonna correct what I was doing, so I can show you where I was thinking earlier, after I woke up. All right, so, this is a 4% increase over last year. These are all the budgets as is. And we would be 200,000 short. But,
That's with a 4%?
that's with a 4%.
4%.
4%.
Would be the 201.
Yep, so if, what we don't have in here right now are, is the landfill receipts, transfer station receipts of about 100,000. And every year, the veterans' budget, as you know, we never know, because it's based on folks coming and going, it's a pretty fluid.
Right.
You know, we could hit that at, we could readjust that at a special town meeting next year if he does need that amount. So that's an area where we could go in at about 50. I'm gonna mark our changes as we're talking, just so we can keep them straight. The other thing too is, so that gets us closer to being off about 72.
Now, is that with the police officer and the DPW?
Still with the other two employees, yep. So we're getting closer with just those two adjustments there. Yeah, then we could, depending on what happens in the Senate and the House with local aid numbers, that could adjust a little bit more. So,
Well,
How much more do you really think that will be?
Well, we only bumped this up by what, like 15 grand, Heather? So this is what, actually, what did we do? We plugged in the governor's number, the House numbers into here, as we were adjusting it already for cherry sheets. Actually, no, we used the same as last year, so this is still got the lower numbers in it. So we could adjust there a little bit still, too. You know, I think we should still, every year we say the same thing on that extra police and extra highway guy, and then we always pull it out the last minute. I mean, I think it'd be nice to kind of plug forward and try to do it.
yeah,
So,
I mean, all the departments have, over the course of the 7 years that I've been here, 8, 9, you know, they've been throttled right down,
yeah.
so. And it gets to a point where it affects the operation of the departments, if they're understaffed for that long.
Hang on, I gotta make one adjustment. This was, we had the ambulance receipts, the new company starting.
Yeah,
And how much do you think we can have in the bank at the end of the year? Because that determines what we can budget.
280. Conservative.
Maybe, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, maybe a little, okay. Because we have that right there, yeah. So I had to readjust that back to 280, because I was thinking maybe we could bump up to 300 as one of our options there. So with a 4%, you could take away the two new employees and be balanced with the 100,000 in transfer station and the reduction of the veterans budget for now.
Well, with 3%, we could keep them both.
Hang on. You get close. So,
What is it, Dave? I can't see it.
60,
69.
69, 675. So,
But we know we can't afford 11.
no. No, I don't think any town
She knows
could.
that, too.
Yeah.
There's no way she's
Yep.
thinking that's not happening.
No, they were pretty, the whole time I talked to her, she was pretty adamant. They kind of knew that that was,
Yeah.
but they didn't know what else to do right now.
Well, they
So-
need, like you said, they need to get the letter out tomorrow
Yeah,
and give the towns some kind of an idea.
yeah.
And the only idea they can give them is their best guess, because they don't have a figure.
Mhm.
So,
Now, the only other thing too is, and I'm not quite sure how this works out, is we should talk about snow and ice. Because we have this as being funded out of our operating budget, which we typically don't.
correct.
So there's 146 right there that we could take out of free cash
Yeah.
and then replenish when our new free cash gets certified or some other way.
Could take it out of stabilization.
That's what I meant, stabilization, we don't, yeah.
Then feed free cash back into
Yeah.
stabilization.
Because for years, the past couple of years, we got back into that good rhythm of doing the snow and ice
Yeah.
out of free cash. So we have that, that's in this calculation here. So if you take that out,
That's an anomaly issue also,
we hope
We do.
global warming will solve
You never
that.
know.
Yeah, I mean, you take,
I'll be moving too,
yeah,
Kathy.
hey, you do,
I wonder what the other towns, I wonder if the other towns had $145,000 for overruns for that.
I don't think that was too bad considering the winter we had. That actually is really good.
Right.
Depends on what they stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Correct,
right,
that's a
exactly.
good point.
Yeah.
That's a good
I thought it was gonna be a lot worse.
So if you take out snow and ice,
Yeah.
Dave, we're down to 53?
You're 53 over, you have in the positive,
They're red.
yeah. So we just have to figure out how we fund the snow and ice.
And Rich,
We can do it, we can split it too, we can split the snow and ice.
Yeah,
by
that's
having
right.
another person, doesn't that would lower our cost for snow and ice? Because that fifth person is there,
It would lower
running the road, so it'd be running.
your labor,
it would
not your,
Lower our
yeah.
labor and overtime. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but I think if you broke it down, you would find that the overtime was really a whole hell of a lot of it. I think it's more maintenance and
Material.
materials.
Interesting.
Heather should have the breakdown, because we get it in the two different, she gives it to us two different ways.
But to be honest with you, for the winter that we had, when I worked there, we got overtime, but I've had years where I got a heck of a lot more.
So it's 60,000 or so?
I'm sorry, the deficit was 37,000 out of that 146 for the overtime. So it wasn't that much,
Yeah, so the 90,000 was,
yeah.
that was materials and.
Okay.
And
Because I was just thinking it would pay for a man. It would pay for that man to, and that's
Yeah,
why
I
the
didn't-
reason we should
I didn't
include
use
him.
the whole,
I know,
You
I'm
know?
just letting you know,
Yeah.
because you wanted
thank you. What's that?
I'm trying to find the house number.
it.
Oh, it's online.
Yeah, do you want?
Which one would you go? It's just the line item that just shows the overtime.
63.
The 37,000.
What was the total
The
bill?
37 was 146 altogether. And the 37,000 was the overtime. And the 109 was the,
Third,
right.
Yeah,
the 2/3 of it's not overtime.
yeah, right.
And this year, you gotta remember too, that salt took a big chunk.
Big chunk.
50 to 80.
62 to 83, something a ton, something like that,
Yeah.
rough figures.
What's gonna help us too is we're gonna get that additional money from FEMA.
Yeah,
for-
That 2 days strong.
yeah. you know, we get FEMA money.
Rich, what's that new stuff? I saw a truck going through town with a liquid for ice.
Calcium, there's several different kinds, one of them's liquid calcium, that's what we use.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
use that?
It
'Cause I
helps,
had never seen a
one of the
truck
biggest
before.
benefits of it is to stop the salt bounce.
I know.
Oh,
Because when you put salt down, when it's like just like icy or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
starting to snow a little bit, you don't have a lot of snow to catch it. That's, and we have strict rules down there. When you're sanding, nothing over 20 miles an hour.
Yeah,
People get frustrated because they get stuck behind a sander. You'll see the state roads, the same thing, but that salt, if you go a little faster, just
yeah.
a lot of it ends up
Yeah.
in the ditch, that grabs it, and on top of that, it helps the mountain properties. You see a lot of the state pre-treats just that,
Yeah,
and there's a couple other ones.
so it works pretty good.
Great as heck with the equipment,
Yeah,
especially that front discharge sanders,
What's the cost difference?
pretty cheap, for instance, up a gallon or something.
No, but I mean per mile, you know,
I don't know.
that would be interesting to see that, you know, whether it was cheaper than, I
And there
don't.
was another one we used that has magnesium chloride.
Right.
Some byproduct from the breweries, bunch of different ones.
yeah.
It makes the salt, activates the salt at cold temperatures also.
So I guess, so we're all on the same page and thinking the same thoughts here, is as a committee, do you, I mean, is it the feeling, the informal poll here, that we want to go forward trying to maintain these two positions for the
Yes.
police? So,
Yes.
and that you guys feel the same way, the selectmen, that we should? I think so too. I think it's been a long time overdue, and,
I think we definitely need the police.
mhm.
You know, if it
Yeah.
came down to having to
One or the other.
choose.
Well, I think it, depending on, I mean, the next question we should probably look at over the next 2 weeks is how we want to handle the snow and ice money.
Yeah.
You know, how we do that, so that, do we keep it in here and tax it? Or do we have a different route to go with it, take it off of here and,
Could we split it, like half and half? Would that help?
I think we could, maybe we're taxing this year to pay last year's, you know, it'd be, kind of make more sense just to, if we're gonna do it, take it all out of stabilization.
Yeah,
Take it all this into our free cash does get certified.
But then you spend
Yeah.
your free cash before you can get it.
Yeah, but what's nice, on the upside, because of the changes we've been making with the new software and because it's taking a while to load the new numbers in, we're technically gonna have 2 years of free cash that we're gonna go, so we really didn't spend 1 year's free cash. If you kind of, you know, look at it that way. That would be the money that we would have sitting here right now, that we, you know, right? Does everybody else think that's twisted the way he's looking at it? So, well, it is, we didn't spend it. I mean, we didn't use it, so we basically sat on it. And on the upside, because we didn't have it to spend, we didn't have any requests for reserve fund transfers, because we didn't have a reserve
Because we
fund.
didn't have.
So, yeah.
Is there there somewhere?
Yeah.
And how many people are gonna come in seeking monies for the motions, you know?
Well, if we don't have it, we don't have it for town meeting.
No, but I'm just saying, when the free
Yeah.
cash comes in, it'll be interesting to see from town.
Well, by that time, we'll have
Yes.
our capital plan kind of finalized and ready to go, and we'll have an idea of the free cash and kind of, so a lot of those articles we get, we'll be able to address now, say, well, you know, you're on tap for next year, or you're on tap for 2 years for that. So we'll be able to do that. So I guess right now, we're just in this, every 2 weeks, we'll get together, and, or every week as we get closer, and kind of wait,
Yeah.
because all of our budgets are in. We're waiting on the final number from the state and the final number from the school. Unless I'm missing something, is everybody else?
We'll come in like the night before and give you a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you guys always do. As I get close to the town meeting, I hate Heather calling. Oh, one more thing. Oh,
I
one
was
more thing.
thinking, by the way, I
Yeah,
was
one more
thinking-
thing. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So,
The, what number do you have in for the cherry sheet?
It's the 127,
1,000,000,
1.127.
oh, that's local receipts, I'm sorry, 1,011,000. I-
1,011,814 is the house.
So we did bump it up already. 1,000,008. So we're at $814 better. So, I did email this to everybody today.
Yeah.
So you have the same sheet you can play with
I got it.
tonight if you, so. And we're not looking too bad then, if that's the case. We can't do 11% at all.
No,
We can't
So-
do over 4%.
So over 4 would be tough.
it'll be all right, it's sweet,
Yeah, yeah. I asked this at the last meeting, I'm asking again, there's no board that anybody wants to have come back in front of us? No committee or board that were questioning their budget?
Well, until we get this kind of hashed out with the school, I think we're kind of at a stalemate.
Okay.
We really don't know what figures we're working on.
Yep.
Exactly.
Once we get that number cemented, then we can, if we have to, we can, if not, I'm saying, how do you?
Right, otherwise, I don't know, I'm just thinking about
Big
it, that you
banana.
ask everybody to cut back 1% or something like that. Especially, especially if you wanted to keep your highway and your police in those few positions that we've been talking about for the last 8 years.
And here we are once again, with, facing all these high costs of, equipment and stuff that we need to be purchasing with capital improvements. When you try to take some money out of free cash, and we get it certified to put into there, start some kind of stuff, fund for that, and, I don't know, seems like you just barely make it. Every year for that budget, better than one the other.
Yeah.
And also,
better than something.
right. And also putting money into that OPEB,
Yeah.
that, something has to go into that.
Those are all things to fund with your free cash.
That was the problem is, now our free cash and we're purchasing vehicles and such, homes or whatever, And most of the time that people submit their budgets and that's on their list and they don't know to do it with free cash. Like I say, we're just waiting. I think David, we get kind of, we're firm on numbers from the high school.
We need to look at our debt schedule too, and see what's dropping off here in the next year or so.
One is that the central office is dropping off in 17.
So all clear,
Hmm?
there,
Yeah,
So we have,
2017.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then 19 is some too that are dropping off.
mhm.
I thought the big sewer one dropped off this year, and next
Sewer's 19,
year. The original,
19.
that's the original.
this is the original one, the one that we're paying.
And sewer has a meeting.
You're very happy.
You're very happy to pay it.
That's the one we pay, they pay these other ones. Well, I mean, the only other one that is on us is Ruggles Lane, this sewer,
Yeah,
and the common.
right.
The other ones are the enterprise funds.
Infrastructure, yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right.
water drops a tank,
Yes,
the Route Road one.
yeah.
So, all right. So we plan on meeting in a week or 2 weeks? Well, right now we could probably do 2 weeks, right? And then,
And then you'll give her what the house says, and then you'll have a better figure.
the House will know this week,
They'll
and then
know.
the Senate should
Okay.
come out in a couple of weeks, I think.
13th, 2 weeks.
So, They just put the kibosh on that today.
Yeah, well, you know,
I shall say May 13th at 7 o'clock?
when,
7?
13th.
The 13th at 7. You know, I've said it before, but probably should say it again, so, you know, the boards and committees do a great job of getting their information to us and working with us to be at this point,
yeah.
you know, in the process. It's nice. We're not scrambling, we're not, you know, been able to meet with them all. So as you see your board members and committee folks, thank them again, so, you know, they make it easy for us.
In most cases, they level fund and they have for years.
Yeah, no, it's,
They just,
yeah,
They know we're not gonna give them.
yeah, level funded a step, so.
How about, the warrant for them as well?
by the 13th.
Yeah.
Great.
So that's what we always start going over the warrants on the 13th and.
Closes tomorrow.
Good.
Has Barry ever gone for the CPC grant?
Which one's that? The Community Preservation Act?
Because I know Phillipston does.
Hubbardston does too.
Yeah.
Hubbardston does it too.
And I
Several
hadn't
towns
ever
do.
heard that Barry had ever,
We never,
Right.
because somebody said to me, maybe the town voted it down or something. I said, well, I don't
it never
remember
came
ever.
up for a vote for that.
Never came up, but when did we discuss that once? And,
Is there a reason
It was like the
why?
year before the downfall.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then because of everything going south, we just said, we'll just hold on.
yeah.
And the state is giving you less.
Yeah, the
Less.
return is less.
Than CPA projects.
Yeah, I think
Because
year
they're
one's a good
getting-
payback, and then it kind of slowly
They get
falls out.
50% back. They get 50%.
Of what they. put
From
in.
what they give 3% on the tax rate, on the tax. It's a separate line on your tax bill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Phillipston does 3%.
Not all towns, you don't have to, it's like 1.5.
It's one,
You
two,
vote it.
or
I
three.
think you
Right.
voted
Yeah.
every year.
And then, the state matches it. Whatever gets put in there, the state matches.
But
No.
there's-
I don't think they're matching.
They're not matching.
They're
Well,
not
that's what
matching.
the town clerk in Phillipston said
They
this
start
year
out
they are.
matching, then they drop every year.
That's what she said.
More, some more.
They may be
Oh,
this
that's
year,
right.
but they haven't been. Hubbardston's had CPC in place for, I think, 7 or 8 years right now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't matching every year.
She said they would match, and match it.
They said they'd fund regional
Which
school
seems, the way
transportation.
she was
Yeah.
talking about it,
Yeah.
it seems like a good,
Yeah.
It is.
I have to tell you, when you go to some of the other towns, like, happened to be down in West Boylston at their library, and great big sign, and it said, this was funded, the expansion of their library,
Yep.
this was funded with CPA money.
yeah. Because that's what I was thinking, you know, we've got a lot of things in Barry that could be taken care of.
But I think every year you can only use a percentage, some towards recreation, some towards
Yeah,
land
they-
preservation, and so.
Historical, which I thought, gee, maybe we could not have a historical budget.
Yeah.
You know, it could come from there for the monies. It just seemed like a good idea, and I wondered why Barry never did.
I think it would be a hard sell right now.
Yeah.
You mean the extra line?
That's right,
Yeah,
you-
the tax
You,
bill.
you didn't come back until the tax bills went out, so. The first week that the tax bills went out, the phone calls came in,
Yeah.
so. Yeah. So,
But, you know, by the same token, people have to realize their tax bills went up because they voted on capital projects and approved them.
Yeah.
It's not like it went into
Yeah.
our apartments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I got approached today, why the board of selectmen let the taxes go that high? It wasn't the board of selectmen, but the taxpayers. that
Town.
voted in.
Town meeting?
you know, you got two schools, common project going on. They were all voted on and approved and,
And it wasn't like it was money that was wasted.
no.
You know, that common, if we didn't act then, you would have lost, what, $2 or $3 million
Three.
that we would have gotten from the
Right.
state.
3 million?
I'm not insulating the building and putting a roof on it. than what would have cost you.
Yeah,
And the seals start getting wet.
yeah.
I think we're pretty frugal.
It's money well spent.
I think so.
But they have to realize it,
That's what I explained to the show.
yeah,
Yeah, well, we're in debate over it, but absolutely.
yeah.
Anything else?
Town meeting,
Yeah.
finance gives their recommendation, the selectmen give their recommendation, it's open up for questions and answers. You get 200 people show up.
Yeah, people need to come to the town
We
meeting.
need to get more people in there.
That's right.
Not
Find
just
out
here,
how you do it.
at the other towns.
Not only that, but the other projects were excluded on ballot too.
They
So
were.
they were town meeting. I mean, it wasn't just town meeting, it was town election votes too.
Yeah.
So.
Is
I don't
that
have-
about it for tonight?
Yeah, I don't have anything else. I think we're just kind of waiting now for the numbers to come in. So,
All right, thank you, guys.
have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Mark
Adjourn.
usually jumps at that, so. In a second.
What's the date? Let's see.